the competent communicator, and the title of his speech is The Richest Place in the World. Welcome, Dominic.
I see this problem you got here, Marshall. You just want to kick this thing out of the way. I want to tell you about my good friend named Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones was one of those guys back in high school. He was the captain of the football team. He had the prettiest girls on his arm as he walked along. Matter of fact, he had them carrying his books. And Eddie Jones was a pretty smart guy. And he was very kind-hearted as well. I remember in English class, the teacher would ask a question, and some people did not know the answer, so he would scribble something on a piece of paper and slide up there. What's that say? A noun, exactly. That's exactly what he would do. And the teacher would ask another question. For example, what is blah, blah, blah? Prepositional phrase, absolutely. That's how Eddie Jones did. He would help people out. And even Eddie Jones had a little bit of humor. Like if someone would ask, the test today? Did I read that? It says you're an idiot. He had a sense of humor. Eddie Jones was a good person. We'll talk more about Eddie Jones in just a moment. I want everyone in the room, with the exception of people who have tasks, to close your eyes. Don't go to sleep on me. Close your eyes. Now I want you to take your right hand, or whatever you perceive to be your right hand, and raise it as high in the air as you can. Just stretch, just reach with all you have. Now I want to say here, keep your eyes closed, but I'm telling you, Marshall is standing up on the table, jumping up and down. That's how motivated he is. Just remember the time back in grade school when the teacher asked, what is it that you want to be in life? Everybody put your hands down, open your eyes. You probably answered, I want to be an astronaut. Most people here, I want to be a pilot. I want to be a fireman, a policewoman. What happened? We'll come back to that. Can anyone in here tell me what the richest place in the world is? Now keep in mind, this is effective 2013. Is it the oil field? What's that? Close. The oil fields of Qatar. What about the diamond mines in South Africa? What about Beverly Hills? You know, they say there's gold in them there hills. I would suggest to you, ladies and gentlemen, it's none of those. It's called the graveyard. And the graveyard is where you go, you have to drop everything off before you leave this planet. How many goals, how many dreams, how many aspirations, how many inventions were left at the door because you didn't tell anybody about it? What did Beethoven, what did he leave with us? What about Martin Luther King? What about Einstein, Edison, Hitler, Gandhi? All of them left something here, whether it was positive or negative. They left something with us. That is what we have to do, ladies and gentlemen. We have to give back. We have to contribute by realizing that there's something that you have. Is it that invention you have in the garage that nobody will ever believe in? Is it that song that you sing in the shower that nobody wants to hear that? Or that recipe that Granny Mae Smith used to make, that sweet potato pie. But you're a guy, so you can't pass a recipe on. How many of you in here speak a different language? 2? Out of all the people in the room, there's only 2 people that speak another language. It's a gift. Irma, an extraordinary speaker. And you're passing that gift on to your children and on down the line. What about all the recipes, all these things that we have? These are gifts that we don't share. We drop them off at the door. It's a waste. Because what we have is what we have. The gifts that we are given has been passed down from generation to generation, and you have to give that back. And a lot of people do this thing called a bucket list. Y'all know what a bucket list is, right? That's the only thing you want to do before you die. You want to go visit Mount Rushmore or go to some exotic beach that no one has ever been to before. Or maybe even streak through Central Park in your birthday suit. I don't know. But I would suggest to you there's another list. It's a list of gifts that you need to pass on to your family, to your further generations. The time is now, because you see, what if today was the day that you died? What gifts do you have with you right now that you didn't pass on? What gifts are you taking with you to the grave? How many of you, at age 30 plus, still had that same enthusiasm that you had when you was in grade school and reaching up, just couldn't stay, just jumping out of the chair in excitement to tell what you wanted to be? How many of you still have that? You see, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Jones, he was crazy about that girl. And then she dumped him. And his grades started to slip. And on our football team, if your grades were below a B, you were off the team. So now Eddie Jones is off the football team. He doesn't have a girl. And they found Eddie Jones in his home. He hung himself. 10, 20, 30 years. Still paying. We are paying the price for what Eddie did. Because all the gifts he could have gave to his children, all the gifts he could have gave to society, all gone. Ladies and gentlemen, the richest place in the world is the graveyard. And I hope that you don't contribute any more to all its riches. Just